Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Ryan Deviant, and welcome to the Epic Sweat and Tears podcast.
Wow, look at you
Right.
entering like that. It's Nutritional Freak, and otherwise known. My name is Stephanie, and we are here today. We are going to be introducing ourselves first. This podcast mainly is going to be an inside look on our lives, where we both started in the fitness and nutrition industry to where we are now. We're going to be giving out better information for those looking to embark on their fitness journeys and just need that extra push. So we're going to be taking you guys on this journey with us. So I have a monster in my hand. I don't know what Ryan has in his hand.
Got
We're going to
some
start this.
G Fuel. We got some G
Oh,
Fuel up here too. Not sponsored in any way, but G Fuel's
not sponsored yet.
not
He
sponsored
will
yet.
be.
That's very true. Will be
This
soon
is
though.
hopefully soon. He's been doing big things towards that. And if G Fuel and anybody's from G Fuel is watching, he is the GOAT and you should sponsor him.
Love you so much.
So we're going to be starting off. This is just an introductory little episode, and once from there we're going to bring guests on, hopefully some of my friends from the industry that I've met throughout the years, and just discussing their journeys and why they chose to be in this lifestyle as well. But other than that, Ryan could take the wheel to
All
start off
right.
on his
So
journey.
my fitness journey, it started when I was a wee lad. I say that like I'm fucking old.
You're
I'm
like 40.
21. My fitness journey started when I was 14. I was a freshman in high school. And now this is like the stereotypical, like, I was the chubby kid. I like this girl. She didn't like me back. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start bettering
Rip.
myself now. So that's what I started doing. Cut out all sugary drinks and soda because I used to drink that a lot as a kid. Gatorade and soda, that's all I drank. I don't even think I drank that much water as a kid, but
Drank a
I'm
lot of
pretty sure
soda
my
too.
parents tried to make sure I did.
Hmm.
So I cut out all the sugary and all the processed bullshit. Started drinking a little more water, and immediately my brother, he was one of the first people to notice. About maybe 4 or 5 pounds came off just like that. That extra sugar out the window. So then I started exercising from there. I did a workout program called Focus T25 from world-renowned fitness trainer Sean T, also a Rowan University graduate, and I looked to go into school there, but I didn't. And it's a good thing I didn't because I wouldn't have met Steph and all these great people at the school I go to now.
True.
So from there, let's see. That was like September, October-ish. But I didn't get like hardcore serious about it until January. I did Insanity from January to
That's
I,
intense.
I want to say maybe April, around that time period. It was like end of January, beginning of February. Insanity is a 2 month program. You can make it longer just by repeating the process, but it was a 2 month program. Started in February, and I actually ended on my brother's birthday. So I started Insanity. I was like I want to say about 200 maybe, and I finished at 160 pounds.
That's
And
awesome.
that's the lightest I've ever been in my entire life. Currently, I weigh in between 190 and 200. I just finished cutting for the last 8 months of my life because Corona,
Corona.
COVID, and not having a gym. We adapt, we overcome. So yeah, 160 May of 2014. That's when I started weight training. I wasn't very knowledgeable at first, but I had a mentor at the gym. This old man, his name was Mike, classic Italian guy. He taught me some stuff. And my cousin, he's a bodybuilder. My brother does CrossFit. So I learned the ins and outs of both sports, and I'm kind of in the middle. I'm a power builder, I would say.
A power builder. That's a new one.
More more or less a bodybuilder at
A
this point,
bodybuilder.
focusing on that a little more, but I eat like a fucking power lifter.
You do.
Um so my squat is 350, deadlift 425, bench 275. Those are my numbers right now.
We love those numbers.
But being a wee lad and just starting out, being at Planet Fitness, it didn't work that way.
Yikes.
Um
Pizza Tuesdays.
yeah, pizza Tuesday,
Pizza Tuesdays.
pizza Mondays, bagel Tuesdays.
Oh, sorry. I never went there, so I shouldn't even talk.
And so, let's see, where did I go from there? So I started weight training in May of 2014, had a basic program. My cousin gave me some stuff. And nutrition, I learned very quickly nutrition nutrition was and still is the most important aspect of whether you're trying to gain muscle, lose weight, lose fat, whatever it is. Nutrition is number one.
Always.
So from there, I started training. Summer went by. I put on, I want to say, like 20 pounds in the first 2 to 3 months of me training. Now, for those of you that don't know, when you first start working out and you're eating nothing but protein, just like straight protein almost every single day, that's not good by itself. Make sure you have at least a gallon of water. If you're having your body weight in protein, gallon of water a day. Get it in.
Always.
I was having protein, light on carbs, light on fat, but I actually started bulking and started eating because it was like, oh, you can eat and lift and look kind of good still, but not really because my diet was really shitty. Um, and since then, I've cleaned up a whole lot. My senior year of high school, the heaviest I weighed was 235. And I looked like absolute shit. I'm sure I'm gonna throw a picture here when I throw this edit together. Looked horrible. Ended up cutting 55 pounds in 2 months. That sounds good, but let me break it down for you guys. So my training split was this. I would train 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday, like I do now. I'd lift for an hour and a half, and then 45 minutes of cardio. That was just like the first 2, 3 weeks of January. Now I was like, all right, I'm gonna up my cardio, so I started doing an hour on the Stairmaster at a very high intensity. So I dropped to 190 and I want to say like maybe a month. And
A
then,
month?
yeah, just about a month.
Crazy.
Just about a month. Yeah, crazy shit. And then from there, I dropped down to 180 pounds. And I was like, I was ripped, but I didn't have a lot of muscle. Like, I had muscle, obviously, and I was veiny, vascularity, lower body fat percentage, all that good stuff. And then I got my heart broken. Just like life happens.
Life
Life
happens. Life
happens. I was
happens.
going through some negative shit, and then things started to reshape, and I learned a little bit of supplementation in that time. Shout out to Steel Supplements. I was taking their testosterone booster, alpha as fuck, and their pro hormone 19 norandro, which is a mass gainer pro hormone. And now I'm a little more knowledgeable. If you take a pro hormone, take a PCT, post cycle therapy, after you do it, and make sure you cycle with your supplements. One thing Steph and I have in common is that we're fiends for caffeine. So
Always. It's really bad.
yeah, it's not healthy, but
Definitely not.
make sure you cycle your supplements, whether it's a pro hormone, a pre-workout, whatever it is. Make sure you cycle it. So like 30 days on, 30 days off, etc., etc. So I learned, I was taking the pro hormone and the test booster. Now this was in the summertime, so you party in the summer and alcohol and all these things. You're a dumb kid going into college. And so I ended up learning the hard way. I got really intoxicated one night. Don't remember anything that happened, but because my test levels were through the roof, you mix that with alcohol and you get some pretty crazy things coming out of your mouth. And I'm not gonna put myself on blast, but
I feel
my
like
boys,
you are right now.
my Steph knows because I told her about it a long
Yeah,
time ago.
I feel like
but
he's just exposing his entire
yeah,
self
I'm
right
I'm putting
now.
myself on
I didn't
blast
even
right now.
expose myself yet.
But yeah, don't mix alcohol and pro hormones. The best way
Do
to put
not
it.
do it. That's just the number one thing out of all the list of things to not do is
Yeah.
to do that.
And so that was in 2017. We're in 2020 now. Since then, my training, I do fasted cardio every single day. I've done that almost every day for a year. I started last August after getting my heart broken again. Because a lot of people, they talk about fasted cardio. And physiologically, my body has changed drastically. Like at 200 plus pounds, I'm holding decent vascularity and I look good and I feel good. And my metabolism, I eat, and an hour later, I'm hungry again. So that's good. More food, more energy to bulk, or more energy to work out, more food to bulk. Best of both worlds. Can't ask for much more. Steph, tell
Oh
us.
man.
Tell
Yeah,
us your story.
he went a whole nine with that. Um so obviously all of you know that I'm nutritional freak on Instagram. I started that page, I want to say probably around 2013, 2014. It was purely just a food diary for me. That stuff that I post on there, it's all archived. I will never repost that shit ever again in my entire life. It was a diary to hold myself accountable. So in high school, I was a athlete my entire life. I played soccer my entire life. So I went into my first season as a varsity soccer player in my freshman year, and I ate like complete garbage, as you were talking about. So I want to say I calculated it like probably a year or two ago, and I think I was eating about 5,000 calories a day, like postseason. So all the junk that I was eating, I had no desire to know anything about nutrition. I hated just eating healthy. I thought it was stupid. I used to just eat French fries, Oreos, anything that you named that was fatty
Or
is
French
all
fries.
I ate.
Hello.
I could down a box of Oreos and then have dinner after that and then have dessert after that. It was disgusting to look back at it now. And I gained 70 pounds about 5 months. So I shot up from, yeah, I want to say 130, 135 to 190 to like 195. It was crazy. It was a big jump, and I used to hide a lot of my insecurities under sweats. I never wore anything that was showing my skin. So I never looked at myself as being overweight, but a lot of my family members, they they violated me through the years until something kind of fell on my head. It was like a click. Everybody
Nope.
talks about that
When
in the
she says
industry.
when she says violated, not in the way that you guys are.
No,
Let's
not like
just
that.
let's
Oh my
throw
god.
that out there right now.
No. Oh my god, I should probably, yeah. No, as far as you're fat and you need to get your shit together. And I'm not even sugarcoating anything. That's basically how it was. So in retrospect, I was tumbling as far as depression and anxiety goes, very strained on my mental health. And I had a lot of toxic friends at the time in high school, and they never helped. So I had to do things on my own. I was very stubborn. So my doctor told me not to have any cholesterol, and I still ate candy that had 0 milligrams of cholesterol because I was like, oh, it's healthy, it's fine, I could just eat that. But then my triglyceride levels went up, and it was not a happy camper for anybody that was in my family. Uh, but it took me about a year. So right before my junior year, I lost 50. So I went down to like 140. That was my lowest that I ever was. But I was a stick, and I did not. I all I did
This
was cardio. Yeah, all I did was cardio. I lost my entire figure, and going into it, I thought I was gonna be happy back at the weight that I was, and I was because I was healthier and I felt a lot better because I wasn't overweight and I could look at myself in the mirror and feel happy. But there was something missing that I could never find until senior year. I decided that I wanted to go into school for nutrition, and wanted to help other people that went through what I went through, and that's been my kind of mantra through this whole experience and this whole journey. And for me, I started working at GNC right when I turned 18, so having supplement experience for almost 5 years total, I would say, from GNC to Vitamin Shop. Yes, I did jump bridges. We don't have to talk about that right now.
we won't
And
talk about that though.
um, so the guys that I was working with, honestly, shout out to them because they looked at me and they were like, "You need to start lifting weights because you can't work here and not lift weights." And I told them like, I'm gonna gain weight, I'm gonna build like big muscle, I'm gonna look like a dude. And that's such a big stereotype with girls. It doesn't happen. Whatever girl needs to hear that right now, it
Ladies,
does
just
not
know
happen.
it
Please,
doesn't work that way.
it literally does not happen.
The only way
Um,
you're gonna get big muscles and look like a dude is if you shoot test and HGH and all these steroids.
yeah. So for me, having to overcome that fear was really hard, and going to the gym and learning different things through all my coworkers. I worked with 90% of guys in my time. So all of them, if they're listening to this, you guys are the best. Shout out to all of you. I don't think I can name all of you right now. But I went from 2017 to 2018 and I gained probably about like 20 pounds of muscle, which was very scary for me because I didn't want to gain weight. I wanted to stay at like 140, 150. Right now I'm between 160 and 170. I'm on a cleanse right now, so I'm trying to detox my body. But as far as anything else goes, going to Montclair, I just graduated from there last semester because fuck COVID, we had to do everything online. And I actually wanted to train people probably around 2018. I wanted to do both weight training to train other people on top of fitness and nutrition. So I wanted to do everything. And doing so, I'm currently working as an assistant nutritionist and coach at a gym, and I love it there. I love every second being there. and it's something that I realized that I wanted to do probably 2 or 3 years ago. And meeting Ryan was a very funny story because it was a class I didn't even want to take, and I
But
ended
now
up
we're here.
meeting one of my best friends, and all he saw on my desk was a monster, and he knew like, oh shit, this girl
So a
is
monster and her eating chicken and vegetables, I was like, okay, she definitely works out or something like that.
yeah. My split right now is a little different. In the beginning, I was doing the basic push pull legs, and I ran. Well, I did stairs probably 30 minutes a day. So I was doing all that. So yeah, it was not a good time. I wanted to be like a figured model in a way. Now I'm doing a lot of just I want to gear towards more powerlifting. So that's been my whole thing with my coach that's training me right now. My numbers, if since Ryan included his numbers, I'm at 135 pre-quarantine for bench, 275 for deadlift, and 245 for squat. So, not your average girl, but it's been great. I'm hoping to hit 135 again with not as much support on a spot upcoming soon. So we'll see how that goes. But it's been a long journey, and being able to help people and train people has been just an experience that people don't understand what comes with the pain and the struggle and the mental fucking blocks that come through your head every time that you're in those situations. There's some days that I wake up, I'm like, damn, I don't even want to work out today. But then I go into work and it's like, I'm going to work out today because this is my job and I have to show people what I want to do. And here we are now. And this podcast is basically going to help all of you hear the back end of the fitness industry because nobody really talks about the fucking blood, sweat, and tears. That's why I called it the Epic Sweat and Tears podcast, because nobody really talks about how many times you have to fall in order to get yourself back up and move forward. And that's been what I've told a lot of people that I'm in my life, and here we are now.
Failure is a big part of the process, and not a lot of people know that.
Nah,
Failure, a good perspective on failure. Don't see failure as like, oh, I failed, I fucked up. Take your failure and learn. Learn from it. Learn what you fucked up on. Because I've gone through my fuck ups with lifting and nutrition. Been injured a few times. Nearly broke my toe 2 summers. Well, I basically broke my toe 2 summers ago. But you have 9 other ones, so I was still able to walk and you know
we're fine.
couldn't
We don't need
couldn't
that one.
couldn't train, but I was still able to walk. And you have 9 other toes for a reason. I could go on and on with injuries, but not really. But
It's not. Yeah, no. We don't. I don't know. Thank God I'm not that
take
injury prone.
take your failures and learn from them. Because so many people, they give up after failing one time, and it's like, all right,
And
I
it's so
fucked
sad
up.
to see.
Back to the drawing board. Where'd you go wrong? Go over whatever it is you need to go over. Like if you're an athlete and you fuck up on certain plays, go back and watch your film. If you're let's say you're losing weight, okay, and your nutrition is X amount of carbs, your first 4 weeks of a new meal plan you're picking up, okay, you lose maybe 1, 2, 3 pounds in the first month, okay. And the next month you might gain 1 or 2 if you switch your meal plan again. Okay, you go back and you have to just look at little things, maybe switch up your training, maybe switch up your nutrition, see how your body reacts. It's all trial and error, but don't see failure as failure, see it as a learning experience.
Exactly. It's that was another thing that really stuck with me throughout that whole journey. It's basically me being in a black hole that entire time and going into college not really knowing like what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with nutrition? And I was still getting into the weightlifting scene, and I wanted to be just like my guy friends, and I tried really really hard and I failed a lot, and I couldn't I literally could not even lift the bench, like the bar off the bench, I think, when I first started. And then looking back now, and it's like, wow, I really came from all the way there to now, juggling school, eating, working full time, and working out was another thing for 4 years. I was like, holy shit, because this is stressing me out trying to juggle everything all at once. And in the influencers like Christian Guzman, I really love oh my God, I think I've been following him since 2015, right when he started opening up his gym, and it started off in like a little warehouse. And Max Tuning is another one. Those people on YouTube really influence what I wanted to do kind of long term. And working with like athletes is something that I'm going to do hopefully soon. And that's what I want to do going forward is sports nutrition, and powerlifting as long along with anything else that really comes in my way. But I love being in the gym. It's probably a safe space for me. It is, probably for you too, I would
I
assume.
I
And
think of the gym as my second home.
it's a second home. And I've met a lot of people through the gym that are probably like one of my closest friends in my circle. And all of you will probably hear from them in the upcoming weeks of this podcast. But going to Signature Fitness has probably been, that was one kind of move that I made
Power
where
move.
I was like, damn, like the people there, the people that I've met through there, and the support that comes from that gym is phenomenal. And the people that I met through there, their motivation and like their drive to just be there, and everybody's in the same headspace as you, it's just so different than like an LA Fitness or like a Blank. Like you don't talk to people when you're in a commercial gym versus like a private sector. And that's so important to have people that support you no matter what. And being around, like me deadlifting at Signature Fitness is like another world. Like being there
Those
with all my
in
guy friends.
that
Oh my
powerlifting area,
God.
bro.
It's it's insane. Like I brought Ryan a couple times, and it's a different vibe. Everybody there is just so openly friendly. Um, I remember when even, oh my God, I think it was 2 years ago, and I didn't know how to do a certain thing. I actually Hattie's probably not, I don't know if he's gonna listen to this or not, but I went up to him and I was like, I don't know how to do a pull-up and I don't know how to get there and I need help. And I'm studying for my NASM that I'm taking in a month, but back then I really didn't know what to do or where to go from there. And he just basically said, you have to get into that mindset of doing things repetitively every day. Just
Repetition.
whether it's like inverted pull-ups or assisted pull-ups, stuff that'll kind of get you in the motion where you need to know and you have to believe that you're going to do it and you're going to be able to and you got it. And now I could do like two or three without even like thinking about it. And just people like that, you go up to people and you could ask them questions. And he's a great person to follow on Instagram. He's amazing. um he's another one that if he's in your life, like the motivation to look at him and just to see like, wow, like where he's come from versus now. And all my friends, and including you, like from being at the level that we're at right now and experiencing different things and different hardships, it's been crazy. But we wouldn't be here if that didn't happen. And I think everybody on this that's listening to this needs to know that you're probably going through a hard time right now, and it's okay, because you're going to be coming out of it better and stronger, and you'll look back and say, damn, I really went through that. And if I didn't have to go through that, I wouldn't be here today, because I don't think if I didn't gain weight that I'd be here today. And I don't know if that's the same with you, but I really don't think, like, if I didn't go through that experience in high school, I really don't think that I'd be where I'm at right now in my career as a sports nutritionist in any way, or a
Yeah,
trainer.
I agree. I agree.
So yeah, I mean,
I've gone through enough shit personally.
yeah,
Like,
personal too. We love heartbreaks.
yeah,
We
like
love people.
we love a sad story, but we grow from it, you
We
know?
grow from it, and it's not only for me with guys, it's Ryan with girls, and just everything in between.
A lot of people, they take like negative things, and like one of the best things I could say is take the negative energy, the negatives in your life, and turn them into something positive. It doesn't need to be in the gym. This goes way beyond working out. It doesn't need to be in the gym, writing, reading, whatever it is. Just find a way to take that negative energy and turn it into something positive. You know, we go through shit every day. Like, I can't give a very good example, but we all have these things that affect us mentally and that put us down. Sometimes, like, we don't want to get out of bed in the morning. You know,
Exactly.
fighting depression and fighting anxiety. It's shitty, but you know, there's things that make us feel better, and working out is the best therapy you can get, in my personal opinion, because it's done
100%.
a lot for me. It saved me mentally on multiple occasions. and I'm grateful for the House of Gains. Although
House of Gains.
the
It took a while though for me to get to that point where I wanted that my sanctuary was the gym. I used to hate going. I used to feel so uncomfortable being there. Just doing cardio or just trying to work out and having everybody stare at me was such a big thing that I didn't want to go through. And now, like, whenever I go through something shitty, whether it's like boy problems or like family issues or anything in between or like work stress, not school stress anymore, thank God. But I just
felt
immediately
that on a
think
spiritual level.
um, just thinking the first thing that comes to mind is like, I want to go lift. I want to go just slam those weights on the ground because that's the only thing that's going to make me happy right now. And if the person that I was back then 4 or 5 years ago, if she saw who I was now, she'd be like, you're not going to cry in your room and eat ice
Damn,
cream for
that's
the
me.
next 2 days of your life. No, I'm going to go work my ass off because I'm not going to have anybody else bring me down and my goals because this is my life that I'm living. And if you don't support it, then you could just leave because I don't need you. Like, that's literally how it is. Um, and that's how it should be for a lot of people. If you genuinely don't like working out and being in the gym, there's something that you need to like figure out mentally to be stable and figure that out and recoup and just take a step back and just breathe, meditate a little bit and figure out what you want to do. But the gym is just, oh my god, it definitely saved my life for sure because I would not be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for it. Yeah.
Um,
But speaking of that, we could talk about gym etiquette.
um, I have a very big, like, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you don't rack your weights, go fuck yourself. Straight up, me to you. If you don't rack your weights, fuck off. Get out of my gym.
Can we talk about my transition? That was great, right?
Yeah, that was good. I was mentally thinking that too. And
But racking, man, I used to
it's
work
not
at.
hard.
It's not hard. I used to work at LA Fitness, and for 3 months, and the shit that I used to see in 3 months of being there, working there, just like people really just left their weights there and didn't re-rack them when they know that somebody's watching them. And it's not hard. You just gotta, especially now, you have to sanitize your shit. So please, for
Before
the love of
and
God,
after.
before and after, please, for the love of God, do not be one of the reasons why we have to shut the gyms down.
Keep your
People
mask
come for you.
over
Keep
your
your
nose.
oh, that's another one. Do not even go there yet.
Over your nose. It's like this. Over
Please.
your nose, okay? We all got that? All right, good. Moving
I
on.
want everybody to know if you're not watching the video and you're just listening to the audio, for the love of God, just keep the mask on your nose. It's not that hard. If you're doing cardio, I've done it with a mask on. It's not fun, but if it's
Sucks.
gonna help me get through my workout and keep the gym open, and to avoid another shutdown, I will be doing so. And all of you should be. How many times I've seen people at the gym not wear their mask? I'm like, really? Seriously? In what world are we living in that you're gonna just jeopardize that? But that's definitely up there. And with COVID happening now, it used to not be a thing a year
And
ago.
speaking of COVID, man, if you're not. Look, if I'm on a machine, okay,
Oh goodness.
and you're hugging the machine while I'm using it, I'm gonna have a problem with you. Don't hover over me. Don't hover over someone else. Like, go do a variation of the movement. Like, you want to use the shoulder press machine? Well, I'm using it. Probably gonna be there for a while because a lot of sets, a lot of reps. I'm that guy. Get the fuck away from me, man.
I
Like,
want to say
honestly.
to that, I I know it's probably like selfish, but I really hate when people come up to you and say, "Are you almost done with that?"
Bro,
I
how many sets you got left?
like if I'm
A
squat, oh no,
lot.
if I'm deadlifting, okay, and I know it's COVID season and people are waiting for their machines and stuff like that, but if I am deadlifting, I'm most likely going to be there for an hour. And do not come up to me right when I'm about to hit two plates and be like, "Yo, how many sets you got left?" Actually, sir, back off, please. Let me do my thing. And I love working at the gym that I'm at now because we all have dead hours that we work out and nobody's in the gym. And it's great because you just get to do your own thing by yourself, and not everyone's that lucky. I apologize, but it's great. But being in like a commercial gym setting, that's a pet peeve of mine. If you see me literally mid set and you're trying to come up to talk to me, like I want to throw the weight at you.
If there's three plates or more on the bar, man, don't.
It's the same thing
That
with squat.
that's happened to
Um,
me before.
I'm telling you, like, um, or the girls that just do legs, sweeties, ladies, whoever's listening to this, your ass needs to recover. If you do legs every day, you're not going to gain a peach in 2 weeks. It's
All
just
right,
not going to
hold
happen.
on. Now I need to comment on this too. Can we talk about symmetry for a minute?
Go ahead.
Girls, I understand everybody wants a big butt. I get it. I want
We
a
all
big.
get it.
We all get it. I want a big butt too. Like, but I just
Everyone wants an ass like Donovan's and Fernando's.
like you want an ass, but like symmetry. Okay, you guys are gonna do your squats, your donkey kicks, your lateral leg kicks, and
Don't forget the
whatever,
hip thrusts.
and hip thrusts and whatever else just for your ass. But don't forget your squats, your RDLs, your lunges to help build your legs. Because if you have a big butt and smaller legs, it's just one, it's not gonna look good, first of all. It's not gonna look good at all. And symmetrically, like I don't understand. I don't
I
know.
Listen, it took me a while to gain my peach back from losing all that weight. Um, but I still did it. It took me about there's probably a post on my page now that I think about it of my gaining of my ass from 2017 to 2019. It's probably have is grown from 2019 to now, I would say, but it took me a while, and seeing girls constantly do the same workouts, that's another thing. You need to switch up your workouts every 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 weeks. People, we cannot be doing the same sets rep ratio to the same weight. You're not going to grow, you're going to maintain. So if you're trying to build your ass, ladies, you cannot do the same workouts for the same year that you've been working out, because obviously you're not going to see results. And if you keep doing it every day, it's just not going to be in your favor. You're going to be sore all the time, and your muscles are not going to be able to recover. And you're going to just sit there being pissed off, and then you're going to stop working out, and then you're going to binge eating, and then we're back to square one with everything.
Speaking of
So,
squats now,
oh God.
you go into a squat rack, you take the bar off the rack, and you put the bar on the safety bars, and you put plates on the side of the bar, and you curl said bar, I will personally throw you the fuck out of the squat rack. Don't curl in the squat rack. Don't OHP in the squat rack.
The only
Don't
acceptable thing to do in the squat rack is to rack deadlift, please, for the love of God.
deadlift, rack pull, squat. That's it. Don't OHP. No pen lay rows. Go find another place to do your rows. And most importantly, for the love of God, no bicep curls, forearm curls, wrist curls,
Any type of curl.
any curl, any curl.
Any
Period.
curl.
Just don't do that, because you're gonna piss off a lot of people. You're gonna piss me off. I did legs today. I didn't have to deal with that issue, thankfully. But
Thank
if you
God.
curl in the squat rack, you know, I've even seen people bench press in the squat rack. I really hope you carry that bench all the way back to where you put it, or where you found it. Because I'm not going to be the one to clean up after your mess. Like I said, I think of my gym as a second home. It's 5 minutes from my house on a good day, 10 minutes on a busy day when there's light traffic on the main road.
Can't relate.
But I'm not cleaning up after you, and I'm pretty sure the staff isn't going to want to drag their benches from one end of the gym to the other, or take 25 minutes to rack your weights. So rack your weights, and don't move the fucking bench to the squat rack either.
And I just want to say to that, since we're talking about squatting or deadlifting or anything, if you are a grunter, for the love of God, please, if you have to breathe, obviously, during your set. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're going up, and then exhaling. Yep, we all know how to breathe.
Big breath on the
But
way
if
up.
I hear you grunting as if you're in bed, you best believe I'm going to just look at you in pure disbelief. I don't understand. Or the quarter squats and guys are grunting. I've seen it happen. It's very embarrassing to watch. You quarter squat 425 because that does not count as a set for squat. I don't care. If you're a quarter squatter or half squat, I'm very sorry that I'm offending you.
You don't hit parallel or a little bit more.
If
Doesn't
you
count.
if you're squatting 425 and you do a full squat, you have every right to grunt or scream. Every right. But if you're quarter squatting, or the best thing is leg press, when I see guys just stack all their weight on the leg press machine
And plates and not
and they're
move it.
like, like one little push through and that's it. And they're screaming in the gym. Listen, I've seen many things at Signature Fitness. I've watched Kai Green work out. He's great. He does not grunt and he lifts a lot of weight. If he could do it, anybody else could do it. But if you want to be extra, or like people that barbell curl and they grunt too, that's another one. That's a little crazy to me that people do that. But just in general, just don't be screaming at the gym. Nobody wants to hear you scream. Nobody.
Not even the guy spotting you wants to hear you scream. And that's
Mm,
another thing too.
mm.
Me, I work out on my own. I work out alone. I had a training partner, but since Corona, he doesn't want to go to the gym, and that's understandable. You're going into a public place. Not too many people care about social distancing or wiping down their equipment or wearing their mask.
And please
So
do all the above
yeah,
after you listen to
do
this
do that.
podcast.
So I've been training on my own. Now I never asked for a spot, mainly because I trust myself in pushing heavy weight. But if you see someone struggling, don't don't help them. And like I know it's like it seems kind of stupid that I'm saying this, but like I said with failure before, like we learn from failure whether we don't
Mm-hmm.
get the rep or whether we don't hit our squat or whatever it is. If I'm pressing heavy dumbbells on flat bench and I'm struggling to push out rep number 5, let me just struggle with it and then I'll just put the dumbbells down and be like, okay, I did 4. That's good enough.
I have a question for you. Have you ever had somebody come up to you while you were like struggling to try to push the weight off of you? Because somebody, some asshole in the gym tried to. I was benching. This was before quarantine. I was benching. I was at 105, just a single. I was getting there. I was about to do it, and this man literally came running and just grabbed the weight from me and put it back on the hook. And I looked at him like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna drop it, bro."
I've been
I literally, when I tell you that's what you're not supposed to do, especially being a girl. All these guys, do you need a spot? Do you need a spot? But no, I
or like
don't
when
need
you're
a spot.
squatting and they're like, you need a
They're looking
spot?
at you. You need a spot? No, I don't. Um, I love the guys. I'll actually bring up the story before you continue. We were at like me and my one of my best friends, Joelle. We were at LA Fitness and we were squatting. And this is before quarantine, so around 7 8 o'clock was the prime time. Everybody was neck and neck to each other, and these three big ass dudes with tattoos. They're seeing us put on weight, and I have two plates on my for my squat, and the one guy there, he's laughing. He's like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" Like, I was like, "Yeah, I can handle it." Like, okay. And he's like, "Are you sure you're gonna let this guy spot you? You're not gonna let me spot you?" I was like, I'm good with him spotting me." And I did 3 reps at 225, so he could throw himself off a cliff. But he also
Very
doubted.
professional.
He also doubted my friend, who was squatting 315, and he spotted him, and he did 5 reps, and he didn't even need the spot. So those guys felt like complete shit. And if you're one of those guys, seriously, get over yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror.
Leave your
If you're
ego at the
only
door.
if you're only benching and you can't even squat, please just don't talk to me. Don't try to sit there and try to critique me on shit that you don't know.
That's funny you say that. If you only bench and can't squat, don't talk to me. Me, I'm like, if your leg press is 8 plates or more, but you can't squat 225 or more, bro, don't come
Exactly.
get away
That
from me.
man, oh my god, no. That's another but don't definitely that's a big one for me. If I don't ask for a spot, don't come and spot me. That's just no. Like I don't care if I don't go to the gym to find the love of my life. Have I found very attractive human beings at the gym? Yes. Have I gone out to them? No, because I'm there to train. I'm not there to
Mingle.
marry somebody. I'm there to train. So for people that do find their significant other at the gym, that's great because that's perfect. But I'm not gonna go for a guy that's like, yo, you need a spot or what? No, I don't need a get away from me. I don't need a spot.
Stupid, bro. People are weird.
That's what I'm saying. But it's all I can really think of for etiquette. But definitely the sanitation of the machines is like the
Very
biggest thing.
important right now.
That and the masks. I've seen way too many people neglect the mask during like they have it like right under their chin when they're deadlifting or like right under their nose. And people at the gym are getting pissed off because they don't want to work out if they see people at the gym not wearing their
Yep.
masks.
I already
So
had one case at my gym
I forgot about that.
shut down for a day. To answer your question though, if I've had someone come up to me while I'm lifting and they spot me, I haven't yet.
I
But
feel like you're a dude though, so it's different.
But I remember one time in particular, there's this one dude at my gym. He's a MMA fighter. He's like, big hefty man. I was squatting, and my training partner, he didn't know how to spot properly, and so I got this dude spotting me. We're probably the same height. He's got to be at least maybe 275, and I was doing 315. I think I did it for a triple. And on like the last one, like he bear hugged, he full on like grasped me in his chest and like helped me up. And I was like, Jesus. But yeah, if I'm struggling with the weight, let me fail. Let me learn. Let me go back to the drawing board and repeat the process. I don't mind doing it.
That's basically one of the guys at my gym, he actually posted it on Instagram a couple months ago. He was shoulder military pressing and he posted it on purpose, showing how pissed off he was because he was recording this. And basically what I just mentioned, somebody came up to him as he was struggling to lift the bar and came up and did it to him. And he was like, yo, like, don't do that. Like, I was fine. Because he just had it. He was about to get it. And pushed it up for him. And he was like, yo, bro, I thought you were going to drop it. Like, if you don't ask, don't do it. If you see somebody that's genuinely, like, they don't know how to lift, that's different. If I see somebody that's definitely that's not their weight, I'll ask or help them in any way. But it's also another thing that you don't have to do it unless they really just come up to you and ask. Let them drop it on their face.
Yeah, let us learn.
Let us learn. That's it.
Let us learn and recover, man. What it's about.
That's all it is. I mean, the amount of judgment and shit that you get at the gym. Oh my god, I used to dry scoop on the training floor, and that shit was funny.
I dry scoop in my car now. I dry scooped at home for how long? How long did you? Like 7-8 months every day. My home split during the beginning of the pandemic up until the gyms reopened. My day would be I'd wake up at like 10:30 or 11. That's really late for me because I'm used to waking up really early. And I'd wake up at either 10:30 or 11, and then I'd work out for 3 or 4 hours. I'd crank my heat up. This was in March. I'd crank my heat up upstairs to 80, and I'd lose water every day. Just be losing water. And for a little bit, I was having a lot of fruit because antioxidants and juice bars at gyms. There's a juice bar at my gym. Have I gotten stuff from the juice bar at my gym? Of course. Look at me.
Have you spent money?
I have.
Unnecessary amount of money on juice bars at the gym.
Probably. But if you're trying to lose weight, okay? Now, I understand hitting your macros is important. I know. But if you're getting a shake that has, first of all, some of these mixes that they have, like, it just blows my mind. Like, I don't know who in the right mind would put juice in their shake, first of all. Because 8 to 16 ounces of juice, that's easily, I want to
30
say
grams of sugar.
16 to 20 grams of sugar.
I would say 30.
Okay, I'll give it up to you because
Depending on the juice.
yeah. And then you get your fruit for your carbs, but you already have carbs and sugar in the juice, so why are you getting your fruit? And then you get a scoop of fat burning protein when that's
We don't have to talk about
that's out
fat
there.
burning protein because that's another
That's
very
out there.
skeptical topic that I
That's
could bring.
out there for me.
That's next episode.
I don't know about that. And then peanut butter. Like, and the peanut butter, it's in the ice cream scooper. Now, an ice cream scooper, I'll take a PlayStation controller, for example, right? An ice cream scooper is about this long, okay? Like, just about this length. And then there's the big circle thing at the top. It's like this. So they're scooping it, all right? Figure that's like 2-3 tablespoons. 2-3 tablespoons of peanut butter is about, like, I want to say 23 grams of fat, some carbs in there, and then maybe 21 grams of protein if you're lucky. If it's not,
you're lucky. That's a key word. If
you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
And so then they blend it, and then you have it. Take the calories per gram from fat and times that by 23. You just ate a workout's worth of calories right there. Now, me, when I cut weight, my diet is it's like bodybuilder prep diet. It's very strict, very to the point. I watch everything from my macros to my micronutrients to my water. And even now, I still watch the amount of water I drink because I'm having a lot of protein. But don't build your own shake. It's really that simple. Water, lean body, banana, a little bit of peanut butter, you're fine. You're golden. That's what I do sometimes. But normally when I'm cutting weight, I don't eat a lot of fats because it's just me. I don't do that. That's just how I am when I diet. I'm very strict. But don't, unless it's fish or avocado, I'll have that. But build your own shake. Take care of yourself in a much better way. Because when people bulk sometimes, they'll go off the fucking rails with their diet. I'm not going to talk about how I just had 3 Kit Kats and 2 Reese's about like 45 minutes ago. He
definitely had 4 Reese's.
Definitely did not.
Doesn't want to talk about it.
Definitely did not. But build your own shake. Like 2 scoops of whey protein. That's, I know most gyms they get like isolate, so I'm gonna say
well, the gyms, the protein. I mean, speaking from my supplement knowledgeable head of mine, the gym's protein is very basic standard. They don't really care what protein they buy because they will get the cheapest wholesale price. So please, if you're trying to like get the healthier option, just watch out for the protein that they use because Costco and Walmart brand protein is not good. And some of the stuff that I've seen at the jobs that I worked at, they end up doing that as well. But just focus on that. For looking at proteins at the juice bars, they're not reliable, I would say, from what I've seen. First of all, fat burning protein is such a scam. Just don't even waste your money on it. If anything is lower than 90 calories and they're labeling as fat burner, chances are it's not fat burning at all. Just get a regular whey isolate and call it a day. And it's so much cheaper to just make your own shakes at home when you know exactly what you're putting inside of it, because you really don't know how they're proportioning everything, no matter what they say. But I've seen just people at the front desk, well, people at the juice bar in general just don't know how to make shakes sometimes, and they don't measure anything out. So it's harder to know how to track it. So it's better off to just do it on your own, get a really good protein. Vitamin Shop or GNC, they really have good ones. I personally like NutraBio's protein. It's probably the best tasting and the cleanest one that I've ever had. I don't know about what you take. You've taken GNC protein before. I personally, from working there for 4 years, cannot handle the taste anymore. So I will not be endorsing GNC protein. But Ghost protein is very good. I don't know if you ever had
gotta plug the flavor.
Oh, Chips Ahoy protein? Oh my god. Game changer. Game changer. Anything Ghost related. They just came out with energy drinks too. I wish I was sponsored, but I'm not. But the citrus energy drink that they came out with is banging.
You were scared to have the citrus
and
too.
I was very scared. That was the last flavor that I wanted to try. and here I am. That's definitely the top favorite. And I like posting reviews on my Instagram recently. And we're plugging our Instagrams here. If you don't follow us, come on, what are you doing? What are you
What are
doing?
you doing?
What are you doing?
Gabagool.
Um, but I've come a long way from my page and the amount of support that I've gotten from friends and family. It's been awesome. I'm hopefully my goal is to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, and I think I could get there. I'm almost
What you at?
I'm like 835.
All right,
I
yeah.
feel like I'm almost.
We're in what, November? Yeah, you got a month.
Yeah, I have like a. If this podcast surprisingly blows up in any way, I
Hey,
hope to God,
that's it. That's podcast juice.
uh, manifesting it. We're
Have to.
manifesting. We have to. And I hope all of you enjoy our commentary on a lot of things because it's only going to get
Better.
crazier from here and better.
Better.
But
Louder.
uh,
Passion.
very aggressive, and hopefully I will not have anybody at home so I could be like that. But we actually asked for questions on our Instagram, and before we sign off, I think at the end of every podcast we could just answer questions and then take it from there. And hopefully next week I could get some guests on here and talk to them and get the show on the road. I'm
Yep.
very excited. And so we could start with you because I
All right.
barely got any questions, and they're probably stupid questions. So
So,
find out.
my beautiful girlfriend asked me,
Oh Jesus, you're gonna read this out loud.
what was your favorite workout to do during quarantine with this emoji a bunch
Oh,
of
she.
times?
Okay.
Um,
I see you, Jamie.
Probably, I guess my push pull day. So my training split now is legs, push legs on Monday, push Tuesday, pull Friday, shoulders, and then push pull, and then shoulders again Saturday. So I'm hitting everything twice almost. But
Okay.
during the gym shutdown, my Friday push pull was kind of like a disgusting amount of push-ups.
Mhm.
Um, supersetted with, so I'd bounce back and forth. So I'd go from like push-ups to like weird straight arm pull down slash rows with the resistance bands. I was angling my back in every way possible to hit my lats and my whole back as a whole differently. But when you're in a room, not this room's bigger than my room, but when you're in a room like mine, it's a college dorm room, so it's not that big. My office is a little, just like a little smidge bigger. So I do straight arm pull down, superset that with push ups, and then I would go downstairs and I have a basement, and I'd prop myself in between these two ledges, and I would do dips that way,
Mm.
and I'd kind of giant set it, so I would do maybe 3 or 4 sets in about 5 to 15 minutes, and then from there I would go into hinge work with dumbbells, superset that with push-ups, and then dumbbell bent over dumbbell rows. But yeah, I'd have to say push pull. That was my entertainment for a good
For
amount of
during you're
time.
talking about during quarantine.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say like just variations of different leg workouts and trying to incorporate like abs into my regimen. It was hard. I honestly I wish I could say that I worked out the same way that I during quarantine that I do now. I really didn't. I just prayed and hoped for the best. I didn't gain weight through this whole thing. I did a lot of jump roping and a lot of cardio and a lot of like body weight stuff, but RDLs were my savior and a lot of ab workouts, and that's what pushed me through. Um, that's a very good question on her end, and I guess we could rotate, we could alternate.
Yep.
Chris Perez said, and I quote, "How does it feel to be smaller than me?" And he also put in parentheses, "JK, don't roast me." I want to roast him so bad. uh, he's
That's all I gotta say, bro.
sorry,
Just
Chris.
you know.
But okay, listen, I'm not smaller than you. I think we're on the same level if anything, Brian is stronger than you. So we don't have to talk about that. We can go on to the next question.
So, our good friend Marco asked,
Oh Lord.
debunk the ketogenic diet. Myth, true or false, sustainable?
Good question. Wow, he's
Just
good.
racking my brain here. All right.
Oh, talk about the keto
So,
diet.
I knew a guy that was keto diet certified. Yes, you need a certification to
I'm very
get.
confused.
Yeah, no, you need a certification to be a keto coach.
Huh.
Keto, if you don't know what that is, it's a very carb restrictive diet. It's no carbs or little to no carbs. Now, me, when I cut down for the summer, or if I'm just cutting weight, I don't need as many carbs. And that by itself is ass. It sucks. I would not recommend it. Bulk 24/7. Just get fucking swole as shit and strong as shit. Abs
Yep.
are cool. Heavy weights are cooler though. But the ketogenic diet, I I want to say it's a myth, but I've seen proven results that it works. Everyone's body is different, so
I have a lot of opinions.
I think it's all based on body physiology personally. However your body reacts to no carbs. When you don't have carbs, you're flat for a while if you're not eating a decent amount of fat. You're not going to have the energy to do shit. But keto, I think it's sustainable to a degree, but it just gets to a point where it's like, when do you give in? When do you bring carbs back? And if you're gonna bring carbs back when you're off a ketogenic diet, don't like full pizza,
Yeah.
Have it so that like, all right, you start the like first 4 weeks, like me right now, I'm doing 250 a day. Okay. 250 if you're bulking, and then you increase it to maybe 300, 350 weeks 5 to 8, and then so on and so forth from there. My final answer, I say it's true. I say it is sustainable to a degree, but I think we all hit a limit where we just gotta where we just give in to the sugar and the goodness that we all get from carbs, that feeling.
Yeah.
Just going to a sushi buffet and just slamming sushi. So I'm
I don't
gonna have
know.
to say
I'm not
sustainable.
to answer Marco's question, I'm actually on Instagram Live for the last half of this podcast, but just to see how everybody's going to join in and see if they have any questions as well. But keto, I have a lot of skeptics on, and I think I've seen a lot of people from school when I was there to make your point. I've seen results. I don't think it's sustainable long term at all. I don't.
I agree.
And it's meant for people that are going through a lot of like brain issues, like a lot of head issues, to help with like cognitive support. So a lot of kids that have issues kind of staying focused or have ADHD, they are more susceptible to be on the keto diet. A lot of people, it's basically, I want to say from seeing the Atkins diet and how big that blew up, because it's like a quote unquote like a fast fat loss diet. Uh, but the amount of weight that you can gain if you don't do it right and you just go back to just eating carbs in general. And I also just think that um, cutting out like micronutrients and like, not micronutrients, you still can eat vegetables, but cutting out fruit is like you're not really
Fruit is
fueling your
nature's
body with the
candy.
right things. On keto, I've seen the worst of the worst of I think like the fattiest meat and like just high fat, like not even like barely any protein. Well, I mean a lot of protein, just in general, just like greased up, and it's just not healthy to like have it long term. I know a lot of people that are on it and they're like, oh, I love being keto and love doing this and that, but I just don't think in general it's sustainable. You will be unhappy in the first 2 weeks trying
Very
to like,
moody.
get your body into ketosis. There's been a lot of products on the market in the last 5 years of me working with supplements of keto fat loss pills and keto BHB balancers and trying to balance your ketone levels in your body by taking these pills or like taking these amino acids that are keto friendly. Like what's the difference with regular BCAs versus keto BCAs? Literally nothing. It's all marketing. So all these companies, all these brands doing these things with keto are just profiting off of the diet, so people can just take it more and more in and be like, oh, I'm on keto, I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna spend $100 on just these keto specific supplements, when there's literally no difference between the two different supplements in general. Like there's no need for keto weight loss pills because they're basically all the same. They're all it's the same profile. Um,
You bringing up the BCAA thing?
yeah.
That's like it's one of those things. It's literally just a marketing ploy from companies.
Oh, 100%. And Marco's saying, since he's on the live right now, and he's saying that you turn like an acidic environment up even more to dangerous levels and nitrogen spikes that can be harmful as well. There's just a lot
Damn,
of
bro, my
things.
man paid attention in class. I did it.
I love you, Marco.
Shout out to Marco. Great
Honestly,
fucking
shout
kid.
out
I
Marco.
love him so much.
I'm trying to get him and Alexi on the podcast soon, and I didn't tell them yet. So since he's on the live right now, he's probably gonna hit me up later and be like, "Yo, really? We're
Gonna drop that Zoom ID into him real quick.
No, not now.
Oh yeah, no, not now, but
no. But I just personally, I've tried a lot of fad diets, and I can be proud enough to say like I've never done keto and I don't ever want to do keto, and that's just a personal preference. If you've done keto before and it's worked, good for you. I just don't think losing that much weight in a short period of time is any sustainability whatsoever.
not at all.
And yeah, that's a very good question though. He did a really good job. 10 out of 10.
Ride my brain with that one.
Yeah, facts.
Marco, keep paying attention in school, dude. I'm gonna need your help soon.
And my friend Allison Joy Fitness, she actually said, when are me and the crew joining this podcast? And I have them on the list actually for for joining. So Allison and Bello, but Bello's kind of camera shy, so
Made the list.
he just made the list. Yeah, they're and Marco's saying most people who do keto never reach ketosis anyway, which is very true. That's another big. Wow, he really does pay attention to school.
Does. He does. That's why he's Coach Marco Manzi.
Coach Marco Manzi. But no, that's true, because you have to really be strict for the first 2-3 weeks. You have to really get your body to like go into ketosis in order for it to burn. It's insane. I look at people that go into like bikini body competitions and I'm like, I can't even do that. So for me to just do a high fat, low carb diet, I will probably disintegrate. There's just no way that I could. When I was losing weight in general, I just never was able.
I think I'd be able to function for like a day, maybe 2. The lowest I've gotten with carbs was last year after I was at PT. And I started my weight cut. I was doing 50 grams of carbs a day, like literally a half cup of oatmeal with my breakfast in the morning, and then I'd go to class and then I'd go to work. I mean, my diet was all over the place last summer too, but like 50 grams of carbs a day. That was it. That's all I was having.
That's insane.
Pre-workout, I'd have a quarter cup of oatmeal, and that was it. So
can't relate. I'm always eating carbs. You will catch me fitting carbs into my day. And but learning a lot from, carbs equal happiness. That's another
carbs equal energy.
But people that do these diets, they're not looking for the long-term effects of anything. I just think that they want short-term happiness, and they're going to keep being on a cycle of wanting to be satisfied with themselves. And if you go into something thinking that it's going to be a diet and not like a healthy lifestyle change, then you're already not in the right mindset, in my opinion. And going into like me losing the 50 pounds, it took a lot of strength for me to.
God, I can't wait to talk about fucking dieting. Oh
God. Being able to like have the mindset to start moderating my foods, and now how much, obviously with the degree now and from what I know back then versus now is completely different. And I'm grateful to know supplement nutrition and also just nutrition in general, and seeing the changes that happens in my body. People just, and even eating, if you're eating healthy and you're eating the same things over and over again and you hit a plateau, that's the reason why you're hitting a plateau. You're just consistently eating the same things and you're consistently eating the same macros and not being, you know, aware that you need to change things up in order for your metabolism to kind of
Get a
again.
refeed in there, get a cheat meal.
Yeah. Exactly. And a lot of people are scared of cheat meals. There's oh my god. I mean, I used to be, but now you have to have like a healthier relationship with food in order to get to this point in time. Like, I'm terrified to gain the weight again. Like terrified. That's just something that's always in the back of my mind, but now like I can just go and eat. Obviously now I'm on a cleanse for 30 days, so it's been a little different to reset my body. It's only the second week. And but before, like, if I want to go have candy, I'm gonna have candy because I know I'm gonna work it out after. I know what my body can handle, and that's why I have a better relationship with food. And it's just overall what I've seen results in, like, people really out here on social media telling you, oh my god, you just have to drink these healthy teas. That's another thing that we could talk about in another episode, but holy shit, those fit teas don't work. They are a waste of money. I've tried them before. It does not work. For the love of God, do not spend $40 to $50
On
for
a
a
detox.
2 week supply of a detox tea because Kylie Jenner posted it on her Instagram. That woman has more plastic surgery than I have ever
Name
seen in my
dropping on
life.
the first episode.
Sorry.
Fucking
if
ruthless.
she ever hears that, I'm so sorry. But I don't know. I just don't think keto is very like going back into it, but I just don't think keto is sustainable at all. It works if you're trying to do it short term or if you're doing it for the cognitive aspect to help with that, but other than that, no. Um and I forgot what Marco's they're basically cheat meals don't need to be bad, they just need to be increased calories. He is very smart.
Facts.
Marco is a student. It's a very known that
Marco is a student that's perfecting his craft even before he graduates.
he's doing great. He's a great, and um being able to just see how other people diet, but also working with a nutritionist for she's been in the industry, I want to say, for like 5 6 years now, and seeing how she does things and learning how to do what she does in a way, because we've been taught a certain way versus how actual nutritionists in our field or actual trainers are doing certain things like outside of the school spectrum. They don't teach us how to help
In
with clients or
school,
anything.
we
So
learn the sciences behind it all, but not actually working with people.
exactly, and I think that's such a big mistake. I mean, for me, like, being able to go through it myself and minoring in psychology, I did the right thing. But a lot of people in our field don't even know how to work with
Work with
somebody.
someone
You
new.
can't just go into meeting up with a client one on one and being like, okay, well, you're kind of overweight and we have to fix that. It's just some things that you need to say that will not trigger the client. And I'm learning a lot from the nutritionist that I'm working with, and she's awesome. And shout out to her. And I hope she's listening. If she is, that'd be awesome. If she's not, then I'll probably tell her that I shouted her out if this ever gets blown up in any part of the way. But seeing how she does meal plans versus like how me and you do it, and seeing what other people in our class have done, it's a lot of different things that go along with it, and everybody's body works so different. But I would never specifically go up to a client and be like, all right, we're gonna put you on this keto diet and you're gonna be restricted for the next like 2 3 months of your life, but I promise you're
It's
gonna
worth it. You're gonna
you're
get
it's worth it. You're gonna lose 40 pounds in 3 months.
you're gonna lose like 15% body fat. You're gonna be ripped and veiny and this and that. And
And
then it's
that's
like
another
you're going through the motions of it. Like I like I've seen posts on Instagram like people like, all right, cool, you're shredded, you're 5% body fat, but like your mood and your energy level, guys, your sex drive and your libido,
Real talk.
it
Plummets.
plummets, man. It's not good, and it's not healthy. Being around in between like maybe 15 to 10% body fat, that's comfortable, that's good, that's sustainable, that's healthy.
For a guy.
For a guy, I know some guys they
For
like
a
to be
girl, it's
leaner.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a girl, it's I don't think I think I've been the normal range for a body fat for a female is definitely between like 18 to 24 like percent. I think I'm right about like 29 now because we love quarantine and this is what
29,
happened.
bro. You're
Um
not getting here.
but no, but I just I think just going into dealing with clients, and if you're telling them like I promise you you're going to do this and it doesn't happen, you just threw yourself under the bus. Like 100%. I just don't I would never tell like a person like you're going to go on keto and I promise you you're going to lose this amount of weight. And if it doesn't happen, like how does that look on you as a professional in the field? You're not giving them the product that they asked for. But if you're doing it like the less toxic way, and you're sitting down and you're aware of what they want, and you're going to get them there, and you need to realize like it's going to take time and patience, and a lot of people don't want to do that. People want to just fast. They want quick results, and that's it. It's not going to be sustainable long term if you tend to want the shorter way out of things. And I don't know. I could run my mouth through this whole thing, and a lot of people are joining. Not well. There were 6 people on this Instagram live. Oh, Simone was listening.
Champ.
Shout out to her. She's the best. She's teaching me everything I know. But I mean, even with you with nutrition, you have a big knowledge on that too. So
Yeah,
if you go up
I
to
like that.
somebody as a coach and you tell them like, hey, we're going to put you on this diet and it's only going to be short term, and I promise you're going to gain like 15 pounds of muscle. If they don't see 15 pounds of muscle, they're going to go shit on you, and you're not going to get any clientele whatsoever in any aspect. And that's a lot of, there was one girl on Instagram that I used to follow, and she was at 500,000 followers, and everybody found out that she started scamming her meal plans. Everybody started getting the same meal plan repetitively, and anytime that they tried to reach out to her, they never got a response. Like that's crazy.
That's
You have
wild.
500,000 people, and she ruined her entire career. She used to be somebody that I used to look up to in the industry right when I first started, and it's people that are influenced on Instagram and seeing.
And can't let the social media. Oh, that's gonna be another thing too, man. Can't let social media go to your fucking head.
There's a lot of editing on social media, and there's a lot of perception on social media, and keto is promoted like crazy in the recent like year and a half, I think. And they have to we just have to like hear people out when they come up to us, because Weight Watchers, keto, Atkins, and like all those diets in between, just sitting down the client and be like, okay, you want to cut out carbs because your friend Sydney did it, but your body is completely different, and carbs are not the bad enemy here. Neither is fat. I used to think fat was so bad. I used to cut that shit out all the time when I was
People
dying.
said carbs are bad. Like originally it was like, oh, carbs are bad. Oh, fats are bad. Let me make one thing friggin' clear to everybody. And this is like basic nutrition, like basic like fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
The only way you're gonna gain fat, alright, in like a good amount, is if you're eating fast food, McDonald's, KFC, Wendy's, and sitting on your ass and not doing anything. That
Exactly.
like you're overeating, being sedentary. That's it. That's the formula right there. You want to get a gut. That's it.
Or even like, I didn't even bring up my favorite company, Herbalife, and Nutrisystem, and what was the other one? Isogenics.
Tea, all that shit.
They don't work. Do not spend $300 on a 1 month program, please, for the love of God.
Supplementation, that's a whole
It's a whole other topic that we will
nother
definitely discuss. And
thing for its lonesome.
Marco's going crazy in this chat.
Got it, Marco, great kid.
As we sign off, as professionals, we need to combat the common person attitude and understand where they're coming from, which is right off the IG popular page. And he said Nutrisystem is whack. And I just think every fad diet is whack and everything in between. And you just got to do it the healthier way. And that's what we're here to tell you, to debunk everything through this podcast. And hopefully next week we'll get 2 special guests on, and you'll find out soon in these upcoming weeks when this is uploaded. But do you have anything else to say other than screw all these fad diets?
Rack your fucking weights. That's it.
Oh God, did we have enough caffeine today?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think I'm done with my caffeine today for the day. But yeah, thank you all for listening.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
I hope all of you enjoyed. For the people that joined the Instagram live, I just joined it like really quickly. The podcast will be hopefully updated soon, probably either tonight or tomorrow, and stay tuned for it. Alex says you guys are the best. We love you. But overall, thank you for listening. Stay tuned for next week, and I hope all of you have an amazing week. See you soon.